We've been on the water 2 minutes, and this is literally my first cast. I got a little jackall re-range jerk bait there, and I got a smallmouth right there. First cast of the season for the show. So that's a great way to start off. Doesn't get much better, really. And as I have pointed out in the past, these hooks are sharp. There we go. So what a great way to start the season. First cast of the day. Hopefully this will be the first of many. Steve and I come up. Steve all the way up from down by Hampton. And we're going to see if we can have a good time catching bass today. That's actually called the Sexy Shad Jackall Re-Range. And we used that last year a lot. We caught a lot of fish on that last year. Great bait.
Try a swim bait on a underspin jig head. I'm just going to make one cast with this.
Yeah, the area the guys all fight with in the tournaments is to be throwing into that because there's a current break right there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The other spot is up in there.
I always see this being quite a busy spot here during tournaments or pre-fishing.
Lots of current coming out of here today. There we go, Steve's first cast. So what are you throwing there, Steve?
I'm just throwing a little about 4.5 inch swim bait on an underspin jig head.
You want me to? I was gonna net that if you want. First fish up here for Steve, so we're going to do a picture of that one for posterity. Yeah, we'll get a little sun on that. It's a good shot right there. There we go.
Nice little fella.
Yep. There, that's going to be good. Sun's right on him. Good one. Nice fish. That's a good start.
Good
Not
start.
too often we get out in the water, we both get a fish on the first cast.
No, I think it's going to be a good day.
It's already a good day.
Yeah. There we go.
Now you're showing off. Now you're showing off.
Little fella. Nice bass.
What's the bait that you're throwing, Steve? I noticed that bait that you've got on the underspin. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's a 4 3/4 inch a big bite swim bait right there, paddle tail. And I put it on one of my jig heads that I make. A little underspin. Sometimes that spinner blade makes a big difference.
Steve's last one was bigger than that. Spot locks on. That water's not as stained as I thought. I can see that fish
clear
down there quite easily 3 feet down. Yeah, maybe even more than that. That's actually a nice fish right there. There we go. Come on up here, little girl. No, she was going to do the twist there. That was going to hurt. Anyway, so it's interesting. Steve and I are throwing two totally different techniques, and they're hitting them both, although he's had 3 fairly quick strikes. I had to work for that second fish.
Oh, and got another nice little bass. Not hitting real hard though.
No, all I'm seeing is my line straighten.
Yeah. You almost have to think for a second. Am I caught on a rock or is it a bass? Then all of a sudden, it's a bass. I'm not gonna try not to lose them like I did the last one. I did a little bit of a rookie mistake last time, and the fish went completely away from me, and I didn't turn the rod, and I popped the hook out.
Sometimes they just come off.
They sure do.
That'll be
That's
my
how they get
story.
big. There we go. Nice brown colored bass there.
Another good one.
There he goes.
Well, till we see it, we're going to assume it's a bass, and it is. Tell you what, with gas at the price it is now, we have only burned about 25 cents worth, and we've had at least 10 fish on or more watching the water. We should actually rig a tube up just for a follower, because we've seen a couple of fish come up with a hooked fish, and you can sometimes just drop a tube in on them and get them. Jeez, these are solid fish. There's not very many tournaments. I wouldn't be happy to see these guys come to the boat. No. Solid fish.
That's a nice bass.
Yeah, that's a solid, beautiful fish. Yeah. Even cold to handle them.
Hey Rick, how big was that fish?
Somewhere near 3 pounds. You know, just over, just under. Nice solid fish.
Oh, I just put a little skirted grub on here, just on the same jig head I was using with the fluke, to see if I can tease something out of the rocks, maybe going down near the bottom. We'll see.
They're sluggish, but they'll still jump. Yeah, this guy got a little more of the bait. Okay, come on over here, girlie.
I've seen a few follows.
Yeah, another good one.
I don't think it's a big one, but he's going to jump here. Oh. Oh, no friends with them.
No friends?
No. Oh, he took that right on bottom.
So this is about as unsubtle a thing as I could do. I've got a 1/2 ounce drop shot weight, and I just wacky rigged a Senko. And, you know, it's kind of a finesse presentation, but it's kind of not either. Actually, that's one of the Steve's baits right, or his weights right there, drop shot weight. Steve poured that for me last year. Good stuff. So that's a drop shot sinker, and a nice cylindrical shape like that. It comes through the rocks without snagging so much, and Steve's got a built-in swivel on it, which helps a lot with line twist. And up on the top, I just got a tiny finesse hook, and I wacky rigged a Senko. So wacky rig just means that, take that off of there, you just push the hook through the center of the bait, more or less, and that's it right there. So that, you keep that sinker on the bottom, and that just hovers there like that in the current.
Got another bass. Took the skirted grub, just a real slow retrieve. Now that the water's stopped moving here, we lost current. My swim bait and other baits that were working earlier stopped working, so I went to something a little slower right on bottom, and it seemed to pick things up a bit. There we go, another nice fish. Little old injury there in his tail fin.
Oh yeah.
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 Who knows what that was from? Maybe from bedding last year, or a bird tried to get him, or a little close encounter with a muskie. Who knows?
That's what I was thinking. Had a close encounter of the worst kind.
Yeah. Feels a little better, but hard to say. I wasn't even moving that bait.
Well,
I stopped it dead, and I just picked up a little bit, and boom, it was on. Oh, that's some better bass, I'd say.
You want a net?
We'll see.
I never mind netting. Yeah, 10-pound leaders, sometimes I'm reluctant to pop the fish out of the water with them if they're big.
This one's bulldogging a little more than the last one. Might have a 1/2 pound on him anyways, if I can keep him on. Chunky.
Yeah,
not
big
a monster.
belly on it.
It's been eating well. There we go. Yeah, nice belly on that fish. Another nice healthy one. There we go.
I'm thinking it's a small, yeah, it is, there he goes. Just had to show himself. Yeah, he's active. For cold water, boys, he's up on top. No buddies with him. I think Steve has still got the big one of the day. He's got, Actually, we got to get right down to the nitty gritty. Steve's not only got the big fish of the day, he's got the numbers for the day too.
Oh, I'm sure you'll turn that around.
When we're fishing, I don't care who catches the fish. I will net. You get big fish, I'll net them all day. Happy to net. There we go. Nice, healthy looking fish. Getting a belly on them. No hook marks. Not been caught before for all the pressure that it gets up here.
Got another bass.
Oh yeah, there's a nice one too, boys. Feisty, aren't they?
Oh, they are.
You know, even for this cold water.
They're starting to get active, that's for sure. They know it's time to get some food in them before it's time to do the rituals and make their beds. And that one again, I'm just barely moving it on bottom. I had one pick it up, and I was a little late on the hook set, and I moved it 2 or 3 feet and just let it sit, and then moved it a little wiggle, and that one was on again.
Oh, get back up. There he goes. Back you go.
They just haven't seen this stuff before.
Oh, that's a nice fish right there, Steve. That's a good fish.
Now, when I was a kid, I fished in Ritchie Lake almost every day because it was close to where I grew up. And every fish near the shoreline,
Get a grip
I had
on
hooked,
that. You get a
and I'd
picture
seen
of that
almost
one.
everything in my tackle box.
Yeah.
And after a while, if you didn't know what they had been hitting that week and they were used to,
Yeah.
you wouldn't catch
You
them because
weren't
you had to
catching them.
show something different to them.
Good.
Good.
Good fish. Nobody coming up with them though. That's a nice solid fish, but he's all by himself, herself. Come
Yeah,
on.
that's a nice fish.
That's a little better. Still not up to what Steve got for a big one, but it's getting there.
Oh, another quality bass. Hooked right in the bottom of the jaw, just a little fella. I think he was sniffing it, looking at the head, when I started lifting the bait up. I got him right in the bottom of the jaw. It's funny, when I fish muskies and stripers the same way, bouncing a jig off bottom, they'll get hooked like that as well. Just right on the bottom of the lower jaw. I'm going to a crankbait, a suspending bomber. Gonna try that. See if I can get down a little deeper and do the stop and pause. Oh.
Yes, sir, right up on top. Spunky for this time of year, buddy.
Yeah.
Turn. No. Yeah, try and keep them off the carpet, but that guy it was either carpet or my thumb, and carpet won.
Just grab the rear hook.
That's okay. You take that. Nice healthy bass.
Yeah, that last bass, I was just using this Hester Mad Minnow here. It's like a black back, silver body, so fairly dark tone to it. Nothing too bright right now. And that fish just came up out of nowhere and just sucked in the back hook. Just a very gentle bite, not a real aggressive bite. And that's what they seem to be doing today.
Shows you how soft they
Oh,
actually
yeah.
can hit that when it's, you know, when you're fishing a slack line.
I think it'll happen today. I think we'll get some real nice ones.
Well, the nice thing about this is when we'll come back down the river later on and do this again, and as that sun warms that water up, more of them are going to come in. That's actually quite solid, big belly on that. Yeah, that is a solid fish right there. It's in the 3 range. It's hard to judge, but it was in that range. It had a big belly on it. might need a net.
Yeah, I
Steve.
think
that
so.
actually looked pretty good. I got a good look. I got a better look at him right there.
There we go. I think that's the biggest one so far today there.
No, I still think yours was big.
Oh,
He's
maybe?
off. He's off. So watch your hands.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, you should get at least. Yeah, yours was still bigger than this. Not that I don't mind this guy. But.
Nice bass, Rick.
That's going to be the measure. How big is it? Not as big as Steve. The one you had in the keg was probably 3.5 pounds. That was a big fish.
That was a nice one, yep.
We get a real big one. I got a scale.
Nice all bass. The suspending crankbait. That was on a suspending bomber crankbait there. Seems like the suspending baits are the trick here.
Well, Steve, like a lot of guys, you've kind of turned, excuse me, like a lot of guys, you've turned your hobby into a little bit of a side venture as well with East Coast Angler. So talk to me a little bit about what you actually do with it. I know you pour me some great drop shot baits and some of the other stuff that you put together for folks.
So I was making some fishing lures for myself just to save some money a few years ago, and anyways, I decided to maybe make it into a little bit of a hobby business. And so around 2015-16, I started East Coast Anglers, and so I've been doing some guiding, and I make custom fishing lures and soft plastics and jig heads and weights, spinner baits, spinners, all kinds of different stuff. And so it's just kind of grown from there. And it's a fun little business to be in because it's, of course, the hobby of my choice, fishing.
A wee bit over 2, I would say. It's got some weight, but it's not real big. It feels a bit over 2.
The nice thing about it is when you make your own lures, you can do the little tweaks that make a difference sometimes. You're not just stuck with buying the lures from the store that, you might like them, or they might be a little bit too soft to plastic. So if you make your own, you can make the plastic a little harder, or, you add a bit of glitter or whatever you want just to get that custom color.
That is just lockjaw. That fish will not, he did not want to open his mouth. A solid fish. Change the color on that re-range, that white and chartreuse. That crankbait just hanging there in the water column wiggling.
Yeah. I've seen people that have taken out fishing, and friends and stuff, and they're just leaving the bait just over the boat doing nothing, and they get fish.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll outfish you. Sometimes the fish will go under the boat after they follow in the lure and just hang out there. I might have got you a beat again for the smallest one. It's amazing how aggressive little fish will be. Little baby pickerel, they'll attack a lure even larger than themselves.
Yeah. Well, baby bass take a big topwater on.
Oh yeah. I might borrow that Shimano jerkbait there. It's all rigged up.
Yeah, there's a jackal right there.
Well, it's a little clearer here than the last spot.
It is, yeah. Okay, darling, here you go. Turn around. Up you come. Steve's got one too, I think. Yeah, nice chunk. Get her back in the water. Steve's is coming in the right side. It's a nice fish, Steve. Let's get a shot with that bait in his mouth. Watch your fingers.
Well,
big fish.
They weren't hitting the tube. Rick was getting them on the jackal jerk baits. So I grabbed one of the rods he had rigged up with a jackal. At re-range there, 110. First cast, right away. Yeah, made all the difference.
That's a nice solid fish.
It is.
Yeah. I got another 2-something. Nice solid fish. Steve had that one Steve just put back was a nice one. This is not quite as big, but they're all fun, and the current they're twice as much fun. We're anchored down here just holding the boat. And there's quite a current line in front of us. Boy, she got them all. There we go. Yeah, nice belly, well fed. In addition to your lure making and your day job, I see some of your website stuff. You do some guiding as well. And one of the questions I had for you, you mentioned saltwater and cod before. Do you need a special permit to do that, or because it's in the ocean you can just go fish?
Yeah, so when we're fishing in the ocean, it's still considered tidal water. So there's no license required. So if you're out fishing for cod or whatever, it's just no license. You just have to abide by the same rules, the same limits for everyone else, and that's about it. But it's quite an experience. You get out there, and you know, sometimes we're seeing whales, and always see porpoise and seals around, and it's pretty neat.
It's nice enough.
On the net?
Yeah, maybe. Don't want to break off my jerk bait. Started to slow swim this back to the boat, and I just come up right up behind it and engulfed it.
That's a nice one.
I'm pushing your big fish now.
I think so. Oh, definitely. You gotta love the rubber nets.
Yeah, absolutely. They're very forgiving.
Yep.
Oh, that's got some weight. Yeah, that's a nice one. I'd thrown up the same as we've been doing. I was about halfway back and I hadn't been bit. I just started to slow reel that back in, and she just swam in behind it and just engulfed it. Definitely my biggest fish of the day for sure.
Another one on. Made a long cast, and I think I hit a fish that we hadn't touched yet. There we go. Oh, this one's a show off.
Yeah, that's a good picture. Nice, the fins right up in the air.
Oh, he's spitting up bait. The bait fish that we just pulled up out of the water that the last fish had spit up after we released it was probably a white perch. So the lures we're using are roughly the same size. They might be a little longer, but as far as the width of the body and shape of the body is pretty darn close. And matching the hatch is a term, you know, the fly fishermen use a lot, but it's the same for bass fishermen, muskie fishermen, whatever. Use something that is like the size of the predominant bait fish that the bass are feeding on, and you're going to do better.
Scooped them. Thank you. Yeah, nice try, buddy. He was after me. Yeah, that's a solid fish right there. Oh, look at the marks on him too. All scuffed up. Probably just from being in the rocks, I would think. Right off the bat this morning, right here in the keg in the heart of downtown Woodstock, and we caught them off and on all day up and down the river. What a great day to spend on the water.
Oh, it was. Where else can you go and catch fish on your first cast?
Yeah,
you know, like, yeah. It doesn't happen all the time, but you know, it happened today.
Both of us, and it was really good. It's been a real pleasure. I mean, you and I have talked online a lot, but we've never actually met, and it was a great way to do it. Yeah, a great way to do it. Sharing a passion on the water. Yeah.